Hello, my name is Terry. My call sign Golf 4 Papa Oscar Papa G4 POP. This is a follow-on video tutorial from the one I did about designing QSL cards in LogPro-M. We finished up with the card ready to be saved after having set up the fields we wanted and so on. One point before we move on is that the data that we drop into the various fields in the designer are there only to display the fields. They're not actually fields from your logbook. They're basic fields that we add as a default just to show you what your finished product is like. They are not what will be printed when you print out a QSL card. So let's move on. We've designed our card. Of course, we're going to save it, aren't we, to make sure we don't lose it. That's my card is already there, saved. So I'm going to come out of that. And then we close the designer down. Now to print the card, this seems to be where people are getting hung up. We go to label a QSL print. And we follow the procedure that we've been using for the last 10 or 15 years, which is you select your QSOs here. Maybe you just want to do those two QSOs. And you confirm that they're the ones you want to send. Now don't forget you can filter these by using the filter at the bottom here. To filter, shall we say, only CW contacts or only FT8 contacts or whatever. Go to confirm selection at the top. And now you're presented with each QSO one at a time. So we want to send to Mike a direct QSL card. So make sure direct is on it. Click the little green tick on the right hand side and it moves on to the next one. It says at the moment no send, but we're going for demonstration purposes. I'm going to send it direct. It's got an address in there. We click the little green arrow checkbox on the top again. That's gone green. There are no further ones to process, so they've all been processed now. We move on to the print dialog, the third tab on the top toolbar, print. Now, if you're going to print QSL labels, then you use this left-hand side here, which is clearly marked label print. But if you want to print a QSL card, you ignore that. You come to the right-hand side here, where it says QSL card print. Select the card you want to print. You might bear in mind have several in your setup, but I've only got one. And if you want to generate a file for each call sign, so in other words, I've got two particular QSOs here, two QSOs with two different people. If I want a file for each of those cards, I need to check that box. Otherwise, you'll get one file which contains all of the cards you're processing. So once having done this little bit here, all you need to do now is click on PDF. And sure enough, there's the QSL card ready to be sent to Fox 1 Papa Bravo Zulu, confirming our QSO on the 24th of April. And all the background colours that we set up earlier. Now if you want to print the card, you now go to File, Print, and then according to your particular printer, you'll decide on the print definition. I use a photo printer for printing my QSL cards. Now there is another alternative, of course. You could design a card, just design the front of a card which doesn't contain any QSL information at all. Just a pretty card, shall we say, with no data on it other than perhaps your information. And on the reverse, just leave a space for a label, in which case you print cards, 20 cards at a time, which are basically blank, but printed one side with your lovely photograph and your information, and then print a batch of labels so that you can stick the label on the other side. It seems a long-winded way to go about it, but there is another alternative. So I hope that now makes it clear how you process the QSL card, and I hope you've enjoyed the video and look forward to having you a guest on my screen again in the future. Cheerio.